Hello friends, I'm doing a quick little impromptu video today. I just got some queens in. Gotta be careful handling them because I haven't even gotten them to the hive that they're going in yet, and their pheromones are already attracting workers. I'm not sure if they're trying to kill them or take care of them, but this video right quick is, well, for starters, let me show you my little bag here. So this is a thing that has hooks on it and magnets in it, and I hook it on me to keep my hive tools and whatnot. Some people stick a magnet in their pocket. That's what I used to do, but here's a little tool bag that I put together to be able to quickly access and just, grab and go kind of sort of thing. I've got queen catchers. These things right here are so you can catch a queen and guide her in or direct her into a queen cage without having to grab her and, run the risk of losing her and stuff like that. Got my bee brush, and I know a lot of this stuff looks like it's brand new. It's because I try to keep my equipment up, but what I'm mainly after right this minute are the rubber bands. You'll see what I use them for shortly. I apologize for the poor camera work because, like I said, this is a very impromptu video. So there's going to be a gap in it right here while I get the rest of my stuff set up and ready to go. And I'm going to show y'all, well, I'm going to show me opening up a box and putting a queen cage in it. And I'm just using red 6-frame boxes right now. So a little skip right quick and then we'll be right back. So whenever I set up a split, I put in frames of brood. This has some old cat brood on it. Well, it's not really old, but that center part is just chock full of eggs and larvae and whatnot. And this will be the next generation that comes out of this hive right here. And you'll see they've started a queen cell. See, they've started a queen cell. I just saw it. This is an old one, and that's queen cup. But they've actually started, here it is, building a queen cell right here on one of the eggs. So, well, no, that was a queen cup also. My mistake. But I made these splits yesterday because you want to give them time to realize that they've gone queenless. And if you put new eggs in, then you have to go through and make sure that they haven't started a queen cell. And certainly make sure that they haven't completed one, because that lowers the likelihood of them accepting the new queen. And for those that are gonna ask, this right here, these large protrusions, these cap cells, they are not queen cells. That is drone brood. So that's the boy bees that go out and mate with queens. Another thing that you do when you're adding a new queen is you put frames in that have room for the new queen to start laying as soon as they release her from the cage. And that does a couple of things, in that it will give you a gauge to go by so that you can know when the new queen is laying, and It also gives you an idea of population numbers so that you'll know when it's time to move them from a 6 frame to a 10 frame. And the purpose of this rubber band right here is these cages, if you'll look right up here, you see this gob of white stuff? That is called queen candy, and you can see the queen right in there. She's got a blue dot on her. Maybe you can see her. I don't know if you can see her or not. But she also has some attendant bees in there with her. And whoever put this cork in, they put it in straight instead of sideways. Makes it harder to get out, but that's why I keep my trusty little pocket knife with me. I usually have a straight pick, similar to an ice pick. And can you see right up in that hole is plugged up with that queen candy. I don't know if I've got the angle right. Move it around a little bit. Pause it if you need to. And I also keep my pocket knife. You see it's got a clip, and I keep it clipped right on my pocket. It makes it quick to get to if I get stung, to scrape stingers out, because the hive tool just won't keep an edge. So anyway, when I put the queen in, all right, we see this is the top of the frame right here. I'm gonna sit her right here about the middle of the frame. Use the rubber band to hold her on. But you see, I've got the cage tilted like this. And the reason for that is if it's tilted the other way and one of these attendant bees or all of the attendant bees die in the right spot, they could possibly block up the entrance and the queen can't get out. Now, that is a very, very low possibility that that could happen. But if you turn the cage this way right here, if the attendants do die and they're close to the hole, as the queen is just moving around, gravity is just going to help pull those attendant bees down. So it's not an issue. And I don't really want to turn it straight up and down 90 degrees because it doesn't really give her a place to, or any one of them a place to stop and rest if they need to, except on the bottom, and they'd be crowded. So, and yes, I'm probably anthropomorphizing them just a little bit. But also, you see, when I put this in here, now that empty frame that I showed you that doesn't have any brood on it is this black one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them together like this, and you see I've got the screen wire facing that empty frame, so I'm going to make sure I leave extra space in between them so that I don't block up the air for the queen, which she can get air. There's actually slits in the side of these queen cages. I'll show you in a minute. But I put them together like that, so as soon as the queen comes out, she's going to be surrounded by attendants from her new hive, and she's already at a location to just go right to laying as soon as she's ready. So it shows her where she can work. But you've got to leave enough of a gap in there for the workers to be able to get up there and tend to her through the screen. So it's gonna be a little shaking, I apologize. So if you look right down in there, sorry, this is gonna maybe be disorienting to you all, but you see there's a gap between that queen cage and the comb in front of it, and there's enough gap that the bees get in. And if this microphone is good enough, do you hear all that buzzing? I'll show you. See this one right here? Right here at the tip of my finger? She's fanning her wings. And that's what all that buzzing is. There's a bunch of them down in there that are doing that very same thing. They're blowing the queen pheromone around. They're sitting right on top of the queen cage doing it, letting the other workers know, hey, we got a queen. And so over the next 2 to 4 days, they'll take to her pheromones, and at the same time they'll be removing that queen candy. And I will come back, today is Thursday, so I will come back out here either Sunday or Monday and check to make sure that they've released her. If they haven't, then I will pull the cork out of the opposite end of the cage and just do what they call a direct release. And even then, what I do is I just pull the frame out, I pop the cork, and I slide the frame right back down in there, and I let her walk out on her own. And then I'll come back a few days after that to remove the queen cage. All right, now we see I've got this one here. Again, gonna grab my pocket knife here. I'm gonna pop this cork out. You see we've got the queen candy, and they actually use a little bit of paper right there. So what they probably do is pre-mix a whole bunch of queen candy and just keep it in the freezer, and they don't pop it out until, and this is probably not going to be easy to see on the camera, but you've got these long slits in the side of it. Well, you see there's a slit that actually goes all the way through the side. I'm not going to stick my pocket knife in there. I don't want to run the risk of injuring the queen, but you may be able to see a dark spot down in there. Here, I've got another queen cage in my tool bag over here. I'll grab it and show you. Nope, that queen cage in my tool bag is a different type. So again, we'll do the same thing I just did. I'll sit her out of the way so we don't jostle them. Pull the top off. We want to get the bees back into the hive, most of them if we can. And we're going to start popping some frames out here. To decide which frame to put her on, because like I said, I set these splits up late yesterday evening just before sunset. So naturally, the bees got a little upset with me. All right, so we see this right here is the frame. We've got some brood here on the outside. We've got nectar and pollen. We've got brood here on this other side, but it's mostly empty out here in the middle. There may be some eggs in there. If there are, I'm having a hard time seeing them. And so the other side has a little bit of brood on it also. And look, there's one that's freshly emerged. You can tell because she's white. She's very, very white. Now, I don't do the same kind of beekeeping that a lot of people do, and I don't mean this disparagingly, but I call it slam bang beekeeping, where they're just snatching frames and throwing frames. You'll notice I'm handling them very lightly, very easily, and I'm trying to push the girls out of the way. And see, we've got a lot of nectar here on this frame. And on this side here. So honestly, this should actually be an outer frame, but I don't like these plastic frames. You'll see there's these open spots here in them, and that's a good place for hive beetles and wax moths to get. So I'll rearrange these. And this frame right here is just full of brood. know y'all are seeing my shoulder. I'm sorry. I should have set the camera in a better place. See, this frame right here has just got a ton of brood on it. But what we're looking for here are queen cells. We want to make sure that we don't have any viable queen cells. So that right there was just a queen cup, and this one is probably the same thing. And we don't have any queen cells starting on this side. That's why I wait until the day before my queens are supposed to arrive to set up my split boxes that's going to receive them. So this one is good. And this frame right here was stone empty yesterday. It was another frame I had stored somewhere, and see how much nectar they've put in it already. And I actually put this frame in here with the intentions of it being a laying frame, you know, a frame for the queen to lay eggs on. Doesn't look like that's going to work out. So what I should do at this point is I should go find another empty frame and take that one out and just let them rob the nectar out of it. So here's another one that has a lot of brood and resources on it. This frame right here may be empty. So this one has some pollen on it, and a lot of pollen on that side. So I'm going to turn it around. See which one of these frames will work best. So I think this would be the best frame to put the queen on, so she can come out and start laying on this one. So let's shake the girls off of it. Check it again. No queen frames. We're gonna grab a rubber band. Get it worked up on the frame. There are no eggs in here, so let's move that to the side. Get this over here. Push it down into the wax. It does not hurt a thing. You wouldn't want to do this in the middle of a honey frame for certain. And get our rubber band back in place. All right, get out of there. And we're gonna stick this right down in here. Let's see what's on that side. So this right here is a whole frame that's suitable for her. Make sure our spacing is right. And yes, technically that's a little bit too much, well, not too much space. That's more space than you want between frames that do not have a reason to keep them separated. I apologize for the silence. I'm trying to make sure I don't get any bees caught up between the sidebars. Yep, and we'll stick this one right down in there. And put the lid on. This is a 6-frame. Technically, it's what you would call a queen mating box because there's an excess of space between the bottom of the frames and the bottom of the box that's large enough for queen cells to go in. So this is one that you would set up when you want to make queen cells and whatnot. And see, here's a newly emerged one. She's white. Anyway, I apologize for the low quality of the video. Just very impromptu. Not planned out. I should have planned it better. So, y'all be blessed. Happy beekeeping. And if you have any questions, put them under the video in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them. I try to look at every comment, and as small as my channels are, it's easy to do that right now. If you got any criticisms, that's fine. Just be nice about it. So, y'all have fun.